Hey y'all, welcome back to your girl Brittany. So remember a few months ago how I did that mini house with drawers? And then not too long ago, I did a little mini house with the little pull-out drawers on a Memorydex card. Well, I did say that I was going to come back and do a tutorial, and that's what I'm going to do today. It's going to be a craft with me. So before we get into it, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't joined the family already, so you don't miss out on my weekly uploads where I have different tutorials, crafty inspiration, and project shares. So go ahead and come along and craft with me. So to start out, we are going to need 3 pieces of cardstock that measure 4.5 by 6. And on your 4-inch side, you're going to score at 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then you're going to flip it over to your 6-inch side, and you're going to score it at 1 and 5. And you're going to do that to all 3 of your pieces. And then I'm going ahead and my score lines. Alright, so we're going to take our scissors. So with the little 1/2-inch score that's left over, have that facing you. I'm going to cut a little notch right here and completely remove this little rectangle. Like that. And then I'm going to do that on this side. And then we are just going to cut up the score lines on both sides. This very first one here though, that's next to this, your 1/2-inch little tabby here, cut little notches out of that one. And then you're going to cut like half of it off. Just like that. But then the other ones we're just going to cut up on the score line. So now that I have that, before I go any further, I like to map my stuff before I go. It just makes it a lot easier. We're trying to get it down. What we're going to do is we're going to fold this up. So you have your panel 1, 2, 3, right? So this is going to be your back. And you're going to fold them up like this. And then you're just going to fold over your tabbies. Handy dandy hot glue to the rescue. And, oh my goodness, tripping already. There we go. And then fold your 3rd tab right on top. And then we're going to repeat that. So that's what we have so far. Before I do anything, you want to add a little, like, door pull. I mean, you could put a thumb notch right there, but it'll kind of defeat the purpose, because when you put the boxes on top of each other, the thumb notch will kind of disappear. So I'm going to take some ribbon and I'm going to fold it over. And then I'm going to place it so my little loop-de-loop is towards me. I'm just going to place it like somewhere in the center. You can hot glue it or whatever tickles your fancy. Me, I'm just going to staple it. Why? Because I'm lazy. And 2, it has a nice little special touch, doesn't it? Alright. So now, I already have my other 2 done. So you're just going to tuck in your tabbies. If you don't want to keep the tabbies, to each their own, but it kind of helps hold it, hold your box in. So now what we're going to do is, we will be gluing all 3 of the boxes on top of each other. Okay, so now that we have that, this next part is optional, but I'm going to cut out a piece to put on the back here just to kind of seal it. I mean, you're going to put a whole other, like, you know, piece on the back to create the actual Memorydex, but I want to just keep it a little secure. So I'm just kind of squeezing it together. And I add my glue. And then what I also like to do is I add my hot glue right in the crack. and put my cardstock on. Boom. So she's not going anywhere while we're working on everything else. Feel me? All right. So we're gonna put her to the side. Now we are going to need a piece that measures 4 by 6. And on the 6-inch side, we are going to score at 2.5 and at 3.5. Then you're going to flip it on your scoreboard. So let me take my mini one so you guys can see. So you're going to turn it on your scoreboard, and at your 2-inch mark, this is on your 4-inch side, you're going to make a little marking here at the 2, and then rotate it around and mark it again at the 2. And what we're going to do, I mean, you guys know, if you've watched my mini house with drawers, like with the actual like drawers, you've seen me do this before. So I'm going to take my scoring tool and a ruler, and where you made your mark, you're going to line your ruler up from that mark all the way to the corner of this score line. So I'm going to kind of place it right here, and then I'm just going to score it on down. And then we just shift our ruler over probably about 1/2 inches and then we're going to create another score. Then we are going to repeat that on this side. And then do the same thing on this side. Now that we got that done, what we're going to do is we're going to cut out this corner, the corner triangles. Now we're going to fold on our new little score lines that we made. Okay, so it's going to look like this, and then we're going to grab our house and we're going to attach this to the top here. Ta-da! Ta-da! That's what we have going on so far. So then we are going to now cut out a wrapping piece to go on top of this, okay? Alright, so now we're going to need a piece that is 11 by 1. And for this, you're going to score it at 3, 5.5, and at 8. And you are going to wrap it around. I suggest starting at your tip, adding your glue to your little flaps, and then going down from there. And if it doesn't go all the way down, that's fine. I was just utilizing my scraps from when I had originally cut out the boxes and stuff. But I'm going to be matting the side anyway, so it kind of doesn't matter. That's just that was just to hold it together. But I'm going to actually mat my side pieces here. So now we are going to work on the back. Now, everybody's is not going to be remotely the same. So what I'm going to do is I am measuring from the tip and going down. Can't read my ruler. Alright, so going down is like 4 3/4. And then I need to add another inch for the bottom portion to create my Memorydex part. So first sitting at almost 4 3/4, and I need another inch. I'm just gonna go ahead and do 5 3/4. If you want to do just an even 6, whatever makes you happy. So what I'm going to do is, because I really like my stuff to be sturdy, I am going to cut out 2 pieces of my cardstock at 5 3/4 by 4, because regardless, this is 4 inches in width. And I'm going to cut out 2 of them, and then I'm going to cut out my matting pieces as well, because I'm going to, once I have it adhered, I'm going to mat the back piece, and then I'm going to mat the little bottom piece of the Memorydex. Okay, so I have my 2 base, I have my matting piece, and then the piece is going to go on the bottom like that. And I did add a border to it still. So I'm going to take my handy dandy Heidi Swap Memorydex punch. And I'm just going to line it up and as close to even as possible. Because, like I said, I did create a border. So now I'm going to bring back our house, and we are going to line this up. So where I had put my matting piece in the front, excuse me, where I put my matting piece in the front, that is where I'm going to let my house sit. So I'm going to put it right on top where it mats, and then I'm going to mat that. So I'm going to add the glue to my house. Now this next part, you can take your scissors, you can take your X-Acto knife, or whatever cutting tool that you would like to use, and you are just going to cut the excess off. Ta-da! Alright, so the next added but last piece we ain't gotta worry about is the, you know, the little chimney steeple thing. I still haven't figured out what that was called. Anyways, so we need a piece that is 2 1/4 by 2 3/4. And on your 2 3/4 side, we are going to score it at 1 inch. Then we're going to flip it over, and then we're going to score it at half, 1, 1 1/2, and 2. Let's flip it back, and we are going to make a mark at the 1 1/2 in our first column. So this is the one with that 1/4 inch a 1/4 inch little block here, and then we're going to make a marking same spot, 1 1/2 in our last column, like that. So you see this little first one here, so here's the 1/4 inch, and then our little last column, depending on how you're looking at it, here's the 1/4 inch and then the last column. So what we'll do is, I'm looking at it from with our little 1/4 inch piece here on my right. What we're gonna do is we have 1, 2, 3. We're gonna cut up on the score line and then turn it over so it's at a diagonal up to that little marking that we made. Cut on the other side, turn it over, turn it over up to the little marking that we made. So now we can go ahead and fold on our score lines, and we're just going to adhere the piece together here. And then we're just going to fold this part over. And then I didn't want to do a scoring mark because it kind of all depends on how yours came out. So just fold that little remaining piece over, and then you're going to add your adhesive to that. Just like that. Then we're going to take our house, find the perfect spot for it. I mean, if you want, you can kind of cut your thing down a little bit further. So if it's too tall for your legging, you can go ahead and cut it a little shorter, which I possibly might end up doing. Yeah, I might do that. I do want her to be a little bit shorter. There we go. And then you're just going to add that onto your house. Whichever side, doesn't matter. And after that, it's all about decorating it to your liking. And that is it. So make sure you go ahead and check out the other mini house with the drawers if you want that interpretation to make yourself a cute little haunted house. Otherwise, this is the Memorydex version as well. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and decorate this to your to the tickets your fancy. Make sure you tag me over on Insta because I would love to see what you came up with, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.